Squat is one of the most frequently used functional movements. It's a multi-joint, multi-muscle exercise. Targets your quadriceps, your glutes, lower back, hamstring and calf. So let's see how can you perform a safe and effective squat. Here's some tips. Place your feet shoulder width apart or a little wider. You want to slightly angle out your feet so you can get down low into that squat and your hip will allow that movement. So for that, to find that right angle, you want to squeeze your glutes, engage your glutes, and then rock your feet on your feet, front and back. And as you do that and keep squeezing your glutes, you notice that your feet will slightly angle out, and that is the angle you want to keep. Have equal weight on both feet. So make sure both are equally weighted. Engage your core before you start movement. Always keep those abdominals braced, navel pulled into the spine. Keep your spine neutral. Avoid rounding your back. Hinge from the hips. So when you start your movement, you start by pushing your hips back, flexing your hips, then flexing your knees, ankles, and lowering down into that squat, and then slowly coming up. So you want to make sure that your hips go back. Imagine you have a chair behind you and you want to sit down on it. And then you come up. Okay, your knees, where the knees should be. Vertically, your knees should be over your feet as you squat down, and on the front and back side, you want to have your knees over your toes, slightly over. It's good, you don't want to go way past over, so you protect your patella, your knee joint. About the vertical alignment of your knees, you want to make sure that they stay over, meaning they don't go in, neither go out as you're performing your squats, so your hips are not adducting or abducting. They just right over, knees over your feet. So you go down and then start your standing up by pushing your heels into the ground, squeezing your glutes and taking it up. So sit back in that chair, equal weight on both feet, and then come up. At the bottom of your squat, you want the angle of your spine and your shin to be parallel, same angle. So you go down, and once you get your spine and your shin parallel to each other, it means you reach the bottom of your squat, push your heels in and come back up. You want to have both feet on the ground while you're performing your squats, because that's going to give you your strongest, best squat. If you're on your tiptoes, heels up, you're not going to be as strong in your movement. So try to keep your feet down, but maybe your ankles flexibility does not allow that, and as you go deeper, you notice that your heels come up. In that case, you can put a little riser or use a little step, something that you can step up with your heels, and then still your feet will stay grounded, but you will still be able to get all the way down into that squat. One other thing, when you go down, where or how low should you go, where should you stop? Your pelvis should stay neutral once you get a posterior pelvic tilt. So you see if I'm going here, pelvis is neutral, lower down, I got that posterior pelvic tilt. It means my flexibility does not allow that in my lumbar spine. I went too low, so you just want to keep until everything stays neutral. So here's your perfect squat. You can add weights, you can add range of motion, You can change speed, make it slower to make it more effective. You can add a little cardio to it, jumping, and lots of different ways to vary your squats. So now you have a way to do a safe and effective squat. See you next time. Have fun with it.